Can the Virginia Lottery have your number? In the lottery's new game, Cash Pop, you play one of 15 numbers. You can play up to 5 times a day. You can win up to $2,500. Cash Pop from the Virginia Lottery. Play the one that speaks to you. Drive to your closest retailer. For odds and more information, visit VALottery.com.
Millions of Americans are getting back to work. CareerBuilder calls it the great rehire. And we want to help you get the best jobs before everyone else. CareerBuilder gives you the competitive edge to get the job you want, at the salary you want, with the benefits you want. We even send job alerts, so your perfect job lands right in your inbox. Go to CareerBuilder.com today, or get left with whatever jobs are left. Find your next job fast at CareerBuilder.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comedy. I'm Greg, host and curator of all the shows on Indie Drop-In Network. Every week, I find an episode I think you will love from an independent podcast creator. If you like what I do here, you can send me a tip at buymeacoffee.com/indie drop-in. This podcast I'm about to tell you about is super unique and very funny. Today's episode is from REMelations. REMelations is a comedy dream interpretation podcast. Get it? REM, R-E-M, REMelations. All right, enjoy the show.
Begin.
Welcome to REMelations. We're your hosts.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke. REMelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams, from nightmares to the just plain bizarre. Join us as we give our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle.
This week, we're reading listener dreams about doing laundry, family lawyers, and kidnapping children. Ugh.
Ooh, and don't forget about Barbie Jeeps, malls, and boxes.
What does the fox say? He says, let's get started.
Woo!
Well, here we are. It's another Sunday fun day, Brooke.
Yeah, it is. Woo! I'm
The episode comes out on Thursdays, but usually we spend a little time together on Sunday mornings.
You know, it's just nice. Cup of coffee and a chit-chat. Just kidding. We're talking about alcohol and a chit-chat.
It's Bloody Mary's time. I mean, it's afternoon. It's fine. Not like that ever stopped you before.
It's 1:30 Central Time.
We should be into it a little more.
We're good at drinking.
It's one thing we're good at. Making people laugh and drinking.
And shimmying.
Oh, and Brooke's good at shimmying. Don't forget about that. Can't wait for the live show dance that you're planning someday.
It's in my head. I don't know how it
Do I have to do it
come
too?
Out. Yes.
Oh, it's a duet
choreographed
dance. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay. Only for our first show. Only for our truest fans get to see this.
You'll be much better at it than me. But I'm going to do my damn best.
Sounds good. Well, today we've got some listener dreams to read.
We do. Do you want to start, Mindy?
Well, I've got a very heavy, long dream. So what do you have today?
I've got a dream. It's not dark, but it's got a lot of symbolism in it. So I can't wait to kind of talk to you and pick your brain about some of the symbols from the dream.
Well, mine kind of starts off interesting. So I can get started.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I have a dream. It was submitted anonymously. So I'm just going to make up a name for this woman. She said she, hers, her pronouns. So I'm just going to call her Kate. And I'm going to read Kate's dream. And she didn't give us her hometown. So I'm going to say she's from Key Largo, Florida.
Kate from Key Largo.
Sounds right.
I love it.
Good,
that would have to be Kate with a K then.
Yes, it is Kate with a K.
Okay.
In my mind.
Well, once you said Key Largo, I'm like, alliteration has to take place here somewhere.
This is a heavy one, so I do just want to give a trigger warning real quick. If self-harm is something that triggers you, you might want to fast forward about 15 to 20 minutes till we get to Brooke's dream. Here we go. In my dream, I'm at my most recent family home. My sister is there. I need some clothes cleaned, so I put them through the wash and dryer and plonk them on the sofa. Okay, I already hate laundry, so this is a nightmare for me already.
Wait, I don't blame you. Laundry is one of my... Laundry and vacuuming.
Boo.
Thumbs down.
Yes, no, thank you. And being that we have like a house of 8 people, like it never stops.
Well, I have really no excuse because it's just
have your
me,
own.
but I still hate it.
Well, if you're ever bored and you want to fold laundry, you may come over to my house. I'll let you. Okay. Kate goes on to say, I go into my room and then come back into the living room seconds later. My sister is now in the room with her friends and they're all drinking and playing video games. I look for my clothes, but I cannot find them, and I ask her if she's seen them. I look at her clothes folded on the couch where I put mine, and she tells me to leave those alone and they're hers, and says, you probably left yours somewhere else.
Oh, right, because she doesn't remember what her clothes look like.
Right. Yeah. I look all around the house, but they are nowhere. I sit in the living room for a while and watch her game, and then I ask again and say, are you sure you haven't seen them? And she says, no, I haven't seen them. But then I start looking around the living room. Her clothes are folded on the sofa, and I notice something. At the bottom of one pile is an item of my missing clothes. I start looking, and sure enough, under every pile, it's an item of mine. Damn sisters, always lying to you and pulling shit over you.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
I say, no wonder I couldn't find them because they're hidden under your clothes. She says, I didn't put them there. And I say, I suppose you didn't see them either. She says, no.
I'm sorry. I don't have sisters, and I know you do. So I know
3.
you're probably cracking up at this conversation. I'm like,
It sounds totally like sisters.
this sounds like something that happened in Mindy's house.
She says, I didn't put them there. And I say, I suppose you didn't see them either. She says, no. I say, look, it's obvious you knew where they were, and you don't stack clothes on top of mine the perfect way to hide them accidentally. She says, what are you talking about? And I say to her, my clothes, they were hidden under yours.
I'm dying right now. I'm dying.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's going to get dark here very quickly.
I know. And I know I'm not supposed to laugh, but this is to me, what I hear in my head when I hear of a sister fight.
Right? Something completely trivial.
Right.
But they're just fucking with you.
Right.
Her friend then interrupts me and asks why I'm harassing my sister. Another joins in and they start to tell me off for saying something. That I'm being aggressive and I'm crazy. I tell them I'm not crazy. I just want to be able to use my clothes without having to hunt for them. And I appreciate it. If it's so bad for you, then why don't you end it? My sister says to... So her sister says, if it's so bad for you, then why don't you end it? And hands me 2 Stanley blades and points to my wrists.
Oh my God.
Did take a dark turn.
Yeah, dark turn.
I yell at her, what's wrong with you? You hid my clothes and denied it, and you got your friends to gang up on me, and now you're trying to get me to kill myself?
This is a lot.
She smiles, and so do her friends, and she reveals a video camera and says, yep, that's all the proof we need. Then my mom and a family lawyer walk in and discuss how they've been collecting evidence to prove I'm insane so they can take my life from me.
Take her life?
Yes. They're trying to prove she's crazy and set her up by hiding her clothes and then turns it on her, saying that she was going to try to commit suicide.
Whoa. Okay.
It's a lot.
It is.
She says, I walk away and the lawyer follows me. I begin talking to him. At first, he's stern and treating me like a criminal. As I talk, his face goes from serious to soft and then concerned. You know, I'm your family lawyer and not just theirs, he says. This reminds me of do you ever see that movie Knives Out?
Yes, it's
Fantastic
so good.
movie.
Oh, it's so good. Sorry,
one of my all-time favorites. But it kind of reminds me of kind of that crazy family that's just out for each other for no apparent reason.
Everyone has their own agenda.
Yes, exactly. The lawyer says they've been building evidence against you for years on how you're terrorizing them. But now I've met you, I'm not so sure you're crazy. I open up and what's been happening, and he says, it's okay, and he'll drop the case against me.
Yay!
So then we have a whole scene change.
Oh, okay.
Kate says, suddenly, I'm with my mom and sisters in a static caravan outside the sticks.
A caravan?
And I had to look this up. Wherever Kate's from in Key Largo there, a static caravan is like a mobile home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I wasn't sure, so I had to look it up. So that's what they call them there in Key Largo.
Key Largo. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Key Largo.
Oh, I'm like, wait, didn't you say Key West? No, I think you did.
Key Largo
say
sounds way better.
Montego, baby, why don't we go?
Oh no.
Okay, you can edit it out.
Trust me, I will. Okay. So yeah, that just means like a mobile home. She's there with her mom and sister, and all of a sudden they're being much nicer to me. They keep talking about how amazing our neighbors are and how beautiful the garden is, and it's full of every herb, flower, fruit, and vegetable imaginable. And it sounds amazing.
It does.
Then they knock on the door. My daughter is in the living room of the caravan. We step outside to look over at the neighbor's garden. They tell us about the paradise for a short while and some birds fly around. It's been a couple of minutes, so I go check on my baby daughter. But now she isn't in the living room. I check every room in the house, frantic. Then, at last, I shout to my family she's not there. And they say, oh, it's okay. I'm sure she's around. So now she's lost her daughter. Her daughter was there, and now her daughter's not there. And again, her family's messing with her and is like...
Her family's like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine. Her baby daughter.
No. It's just fine. Jesus Christ. This is intense.
Yeah, it is intense. I look at the couple from next door and I say, what have you done with my daughter?
Oh.
They look shocked and say, we've done something.
They said we've done something?
Yes. My mom starts scolding me for treating the neighbors with such disrespect. Yeah, right? Like,
I'm just like, so they do something to her daughter because she has disrespected them at some point in her
so then she looks over and the man has left and has been replaced by another woman. So I ask again, what have you done with my daughter? She says nothing. My mom shouts at me to stop embarrassing them, and they are good people.
Well, not if they admitted they did something.
I step closer to the woman and stare directly into her eyes, and I say, what have you done with my daughter?
Oh, yeah.
She smiled the most evil smile I've ever seen. Oh, I'm getting chills.
I got chills. I was just going to say, even just from you reading her response, I'm like, oh, this is going to be an evil person. I got chills. Yeah, it's good.
I run over to their house and break in. I start looking in every room. It's quiet and I'm finding nothing, but I keep looking. I open a door that leads down some stairs and run down them. At the bottom, I find rooms full of little beds, each with a baby inside.
No.
Oh,
Oh, God.
this is awful.
Sorry, I know we're on a podcast, so I shouldn't cover my mouth. But oh, my God.
I open the door and my daughter's in a room with 3 other babies. I pick her up. There's another baby I know, and I pick her up too. I grab 2 other babies and run out with the 4 of them bundled in my arms. Okay, first of all, that's a lot of heavy weight to like lift 4 babies. It's scary, but that is a lot.
I mean,
she's just trying to save as many as she can.
You've had 2 at a time. I've seen it.
Yeah, twins was not easy to carry around at the same time. I can imagine carrying 4 kids.
4 at the same time? That's difficult.
She runs out with them bundled in her arms. And then Kate says, my daughter cries in her sleep and wakes me up from my dream.
Wait, her real daughter?
Yes.
Oh,
her real daughter in real life starts crying. She goes and gets her.
Daughter? Oh, I wonder if her real daughter is the same age as the baby in the dream.
Yeah, I wonder. But then she finishes with, so I cuddle with my daughter for the rest of the night.
Oh, Kate.
Yes. Oh,
Kate
my God.
and Key Largo. Oh, my goodness.
Like I said, that was like a heavy dream. And I almost felt it like as a mother, like everyone's against me. Someone's got my child. That's never a good dream to have.
In all seriousness, like, what if you have postpartum? Like, people don't understand that that's like a real thing. I mean, people know that it exists, but like, it's serious.
It is serious.
It's a serious thing. And people usually don't believe people because it's like, you just had a baby. You should be so happy. You know, but
yeah,
it doesn't always mean that. Like, your hormones go bananas.
So I am curious how old her daughter is too, because if she is little, it might be some like tied to hormonal postpartum type dream.
It could.
I remember after I had my oldest, sitting in a hallway and just bawling for an hour. I don't know why. Like, she was fine. She was healthy. She was
It's your
great,
hormones.
well-behaved kid, and I just could not stop crying. So it is real. It's a real thing.
And there's people that can help. There's medication that can help. So
all of that.
If you're experiencing any of that, just find someone because it's not unusual and there is help out there for you.
And I do want to mention, since we did talk about self-harm, I want to give the phone number to the National Suicide Prevention Line, which is 1-800-273-8255. So reach out if you need it.
Yes.
But getting back to Kate's dream here, I mean, there's so much going on.
Yikes.
I don't know where to start. I'm going to start at the beginning about the clothes, because I thought, if we're going to pull out one symbol, it starts with these clothes you're going from dirty to clean. So it's almost like a turnaround.
Yeah.
a lot of dreams are about change. But yeah, something may be bad to good because they were dirty and she was trying to clean them.
She was cleaning them.
She was cleaning them. So it went from like bad to good. So maybe it is something to do with like an outlook of something changing in her life. Because a lot of this, I think, might be underlying stressors to her. Deep down, she knows like she's trying to take care of the situation, whatever it is. And so she's just trying to make the best of it. So like whatever is going bad, she's trying to like fix or make better in her life, making it clean, so to say.
She's working for it. She's trying. She's not sitting back and waiting for things to take care of themselves. She's fighting for it.
And then she's talking, she's got her sisters in this dream, her sister in this dream, and how she's like hiding things, like hiding clothes. But clothes are one of those 3 basic needs in life, right? There's food, shelter, and there's clothing.
It's protective.
So whatever it is, it's something that's very personal to her. That's very important, I feel. Like whatever this is that she can't find or she's struggling with finding or maybe getting a solution to is something that's not just a small thing in life, but I think it might be a bigger problem.
I mean, clothing is a huge part of that. Like you said, housing, food, and clothing are like the 3 biggest necessities. So losing her clothing, might seem like a sisterly fight in this dream, but it could mean so much more for Kate. Yeah.
And again, we're not experts. We're just giving our fun, uneducated opinion on this. No one knows their own dreams except for the dreamer. So, take what we say with a grain of salt, but you got to apply it to perhaps what you're living through. The other thing is when she was finding her clothes, her sister hid them on the bottom. And I thought that was significant. It wasn't just like hidden in a couch or hidden in a closet. It was on the bottom of her sister's clothes. So like the bottom, it makes me feel like it's like less important. Like it's underneath something or maybe an underlying issue. Right. That's kind of like,
I love it.
Doesn't have a lot of importance. Not like so important right now, but maybe it's just kind of like been bubbling for a while, whatever this is.
It's like the exact opposite, if I may, and you can delete this if you need to.
Please.
Like if I told you there was a pimp.
Okay, that's an interesting way to take this.
Right? And he's saying, my bottom bitch is going to come out tonight. What would you think? Like
I'm sorry, I'm not all in the hip lingo of
but I'm saying, would you think he's gonna send you his worst sex worker or his best sex worker?
Oh, gotcha. I know I'm working. Yeah, I would say it would be the worst.
See, and that makes sense to me too. Mm-hmm. But over time, I found out a bottom bitch is the best one. It doesn't compute to me, but a bottom bitch is the best sex worker. If you're a pimp, let's make that clear. Your bottom bitch is your best sex worker.
I'm not going to ask how you've learned about this over the years.
I think we all know how I found out about this over the years. But a bottom bitch is the best one. So maybe this is a way to look at it differently.
Perhaps. We're not saying Kate's a sex worker or anything like that, but it's to each their own. So going back, her clothes being on the bottom, I mean, it might have to do with what level she's seeing this particular problem or challenge, that it's maybe at the bottom, but she knows it needs some importance, or needs some attention.
Yeah, because at least in her opinion, everything is at the bottom of the pile, right?
Yeah.
So it means last of what you need to address. Mm-hmm. She's last in line.
Yeah. And then everyone's dismissing her, which is also very hard. They're like, oh, why are you being so that way? And why are you throwing such a big deal about it? And,
right.
And that's maybe a way of her processing something similar in real life. But, having someone say, well, why don't you just end it for yourself? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean like self-harm and taking it that literally, but it could mean like she's realizing that something is ending in her life. Like it could be a relationship, it could be an end to an era or a project or just some part of her life that, yeah, exactly. Finally, like it's changing for her, but it's an end of one phase, perhaps.
Sure.
But then you also have that lawyer that comes in, and I've only had to deal with a handful in my life.
That's a good thing, Mindy. I mean, it's a bad thing that you've had to deal with any
lawyers, right?
Yeah.
But they're there for a reason, and lawyers are kind of like that conduit of the legal system. They should have your best interest at heart, but sometimes they don't. Like you got there's injury lawyers, there's criminal lawyers, there's family lawyers. A lot of negative connotation of lawyers is like they're just money hungry and they'll take any case and they'll do anything. But this lawyer in this particular dream was like, it's not about that. Like, I feel like you are a good person. So there's someone in her life that's maybe like sees the value in Kate. No matter what people are saying around you that, or what they're telling you to do or how they're trying to influence who you are, you're a good person. Like, you're good.
It's like
and
she knows it deep down inside, but she needs more than that one person to give her that affirmation. Like, she's really struggling to believe that in herself. And there's a lot of negativity around her. So hopefully she surrounds herself with this person.
I think it's good that, then it goes to that whole story of her daughter. And if you're going to have, you do have that as a mother, you have that mother-daughter bond, you have that mother-child bond, and you do have one person in your corner always, and that's your children. And maybe, we doubt ourselves as mothers, like, am I doing it right? Am I a good mom? And I think it's natural for as a mother to say that. Like, you do question yourself. Or am I doing this right?
I think every parent thinks that.
Yes.
I think it's totally normal.
Like I said, as a mother, we're always second guessing how good we are at being a parent. And that's natural. But she's a badass at the end of this dream. She's not giving up the fight. She's going after saving her child. She knows her child's in this house. She goes down there. Not only does she save her child, she saves 3 other kids in her arms. And she takes them and she like takes control of the situation. She runs out of the house and she saves them from whatever evil influence this was.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I feel like I'm not a mom, so I don't have exactly the right to say this, but I think if there's any force in this world that can cause you to do something, it's being a parent and seeing your child in danger, in need, in any sort of struggle. Something instinctually sets in.
It does.
It goes
absolutely.
into protect mode. And
yeah.
This might be also one of the reasons I'm afraid to have kids, is because I know I would have that feeling so strongly that I would just be at like preschool, like pounding other kids and mothers and parents and fathers down, even though I'm not a violent person. But I think if I ever had a child of my own, I would be so overly protective. The poor kid would end up.
It's hard. I mean, there is a fine line between being protective, and our oldest went off to college this year, for our listeners to know. So I have gotten calls at 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m. of her just needing to talk to her mother. And it breaks my heart in a way, because I just like want to drive down there and put my arms around her and be like, it's okay, honey. But also I know that she's a strong enough person that she can handle shit on her own. But sometimes you just need that connection to your mom. I'm the same way. I'm older. I'm older. And I still call my mom weekly, if not more than once a week, and because I need that connection. I just need that bond.
I'm the same way. Like, I need to hear my dad's voice, even though his conversations max 25 seconds.
Oh yeah, dads are hard to get to talk on the phone.
Max, but like, it's like I get everything I need from him from those 25 seconds, because even though he's not like an emotional guy or anything like that, those 25 seconds, I hear everything in his voice that I need to hear. And I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get that.
Yeah, you do. And not everyone has the luxury of being close to their parents or their family, but the saying's true. You make your own family. Whether it's blood related or not, you're going to have those people that are just going to be that comfort for you, that you can count on 100%, and that you would do anything for. Don't start crying, Brooke. It looks like you could cry.
I'm not crying. I believe you. I totally agree with you.
Overall, Kate, great dream. Thank you for submitting it. It was so detailed and fascinating. I just feel like this has to do with being a mother and just doing whatever you can, like knowing your truth, doing what you can to protect the ones you love, and just taking control of that situation and being a badass mom. So thanks, Kate in Key Largo.
Thanks, Kate. Thanks, Mindy, for also being a badass mom.
Oh, you're swell.
Hey. Have you ever heard of REMelations at gmail.com? Well, if you haven't, you should check it out, because this is where you share your dreams with us and we can read them On air live. Not live. Sorry. It's not live. It's recorded.
Maybe someday we'll do a live show. That'd be fun.
No, we will have a live show.
Yeah, someday. Become a Patreon member. You get to Brooke and Mindy Q&A.
Woohoo. And no holds barred. We're open books. But please, please, please share your dreams with us, whether they're fun dreams, light dreams, nightmares, anything. Just go to REMelations@gmail.com and share whatever your thoughts are on the dream process.
Woo. I threw my own woo.
You did the woo. Sorry, I loved it.
Brooke, do you have a dream to share with our listeners today?
No dreams today. No,
damn it. Okay, we're ending the podcast.
We're done. Yes, I do have a dream from a Miss Shannon, and she's from Peosta. So here's Shannon's dream. A few weeks ago, I had a dream that made no sense. I was driving my husband's pickup truck, which he no longer has, and headed to my parents' old house that I grew up in. As I drove down Kane Street, I had to stop because someone had built a giant Matchbox car track.
Oh.
Out of landscape blocks in the middle of the street.
That looks cool, I bet. I wonder if they have the loop-de-loops.
I would
hope
love
it did.
if there were a loop-de-loop. Not specific enough to let us
I
know.
remember one of the best Christmas I had. I got one of those like race car.
Yes,
like
and you
tracks.
put it together.
Yes.
And it goes.
And like the red car always won. It didn't matter what.
Loop-de-loop.
So I gave my sister the blue car because I'm like, you can pick whatever track, but I get the red car. I never lost.
Because the red car always wins.
I don't know why.
Okay, so there's this track in the middle of the street. The only way around it was to take the Barbie Jeep out of the back of the truck and drive the rest of the way.
Oh, of
I
course.
easily lifted it out of the truck alone as it was strangely light in weight. And she continued on her way.
Oh.
About a block later.
I'm sorry. I can't get. Oh,
I can't.
The visual of this is just cracking me up right now. It was a pink Barbie Jeep.
It gets better.
Okay.
Let's see what it says. Let's see. Barbie Jeep. It has to be pink.
Oh, yeah. In my mind, it was pink.
In my head, it's pink.
Totally
she didn't
pink.
say it's pink, but in my head, it's
Malibu
pink.
Barbie Jeep. Got it.
Now we're
Check.
good. About a block later, a wild fox started trying to jump into the Barbie Jeep. He was nipping at me.
What does the fox say?
I must backtrack and say the title of her dream was "What Does the Fox Say?"
I love it.
You by no means need a dream title, but if you have one, sometimes it's great.
Please let us know, because that is good.
Can the Virginia Lottery have your number? In the lottery's new game Cash Pop, you play one of 15 numbers. You can play up to 5 times a day. You can win up to $2,500. Cash Pop from the Virginia Lottery. Play the one that speaks to you. Drive to your closest retailer. For odds and more information, visit VALottery.com.
Book your New Jersey summer getaway now. Go for sunshine vibes and beach and boardwalk fun. Discover parks, forests, and family attractions, distinctive dining, and inspiring art, history, and culture. Stay in an urban oasis, an oceanside inn, or other unique accommodations. Boost your mood in New Jersey's feel-great destinations. Create your escape at visitnj.org/book now.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
In sports, 3 goals is a hat trick. And when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get a hat trick of great savings and round-the-clock protection. So you might be thinking, wait, that's 2 things. A hat trick is 3. But in this metaphor, great savings counts as 2 goals, and so does round-the-clock protection. So it's like 4 goals, and that's more than 3. It's basic math.
Forced Metaphors. Presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
That is good. Perfect. So the fox jumps in the Jeep and starts nipping at her. Oh,
Okay.
my. Okay.
Mhm.
Scary. It's hard to drive like that.
I would imagine
Very
it was
distracting.
kind of frantic driving. At this
I would go
point.
faster, probably.
I don't know how fast those Barbie Jeeps go, though. Maybe 5 miles per hour.
Is it like
I'm
one of those
sure-
little kid Jeeps? Because that would make sense of why she lifted it out of the car, because then it's not as heavy.
Well, in my head, that's what I'm saying. Like, because, she's got this old pickup truck, but she lifts a Barbie Jeep out of it. I can't imagine it's a full-size Jeep.
No, it's like one of those ones that you always wanted at Christmas, and I never got one. Was like those driver. What are they called? Power Wheels. That's it.
Well, they had a whole bunch of different brands, like where you could have different Power Wheels, though.
My oldest daughter had a red Jeep Power Wheels, and that's what I'm totally thinking she's driving.
I'm just taking creative liberty here, is a pink Barbie Jeep.
Yeah, with Malibu stickers on it.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. I'm
Palm
down.
Trees and stuff.
I pulled over in her Barbie Jeep and ran into a building with a glass entryway. It was a combination of a shopping mall and a community college.
Get your education on and pick up some new jeans.
Sometimes that's the best combo.
Especially if they're mom jeans.
Pull them up high, ladies. Pulling up high. We love
as
it
they
that
go.
way. As high as to your tits. Sorry, can we say that?
Yes, you can say tits.
Tits, pull those jeans up to your tits, ladies. We're having a good time today.
I can't believe that's back in fashion, but okay. Moving on.
Okay. The fox snuck in behind me, still biting at my heels. So I exited and lured it outside again and quickly tried to shut the door so he couldn't get back in. But his paw got stuck and he began howling. I turned around and walked away, making my way down a hallway. And then I woke up.
She's like, I don't care that you're hurt, Fox. You kept trying to
and howling, howling with pain. She's like, fuck you. I normally be sympathetic to you, but you have tried to bite me in my Barbie Jeep. That's never okay.
Never okay.
That's never okay. Let's see. Where do we begin? Okay. As always, the first thing she mentioned is a childhood home. Which we know from experience, I think means something has been bothering her or she's been hanging on to something.
But she never made it to the childhood home, which was interesting. That was the destination.
That was the destination.
But she didn't get there.
What I thought was interesting, was the childhood home. But then she also mentioned her husband's old truck. So it was kind of bringing together childhood and adult life in a way.
An old truck.
An old truck, and it was her husband. So clearly when she was a child, she wasn't married. So somehow these images are bringing together her childhood and adult, which is what I think from that. But pickup trucks, I don't know what to think about pickup trucks.
They're handy. They serve a purpose.
I think they represent like hard work, like down to earth basics. I mean, that's just what I think of.
Hauling shit and stuff.
An old truck that's not brand spanking new.
It's not an F-150.
It's not. And it's probably dirty. And I mean, we know that it doesn't exist anymore. So maybe Shannon is ready to grow, move forward, leave the basics like the truck behind and reshape herself or work in this new Barbie Jeep. Like maybe the Barbie Jeep represents change.
Something new. Yeah. Something
new.
Like fun. It's like driving a Barbie Jeep's going to be way more fun than driving an old truck.
Sign me up.
I think she has like really like hot pink pumps on too when she's doing this.
I love this
like Barbie.
even more. Throw a cute hot pink purse on. We're talking an 80s style.
You need to have the scarf, so you can just let it fly in the wind as you're driving.
You have to put the scarf on your head or
sunglasses,
it ruins your hair.
Right.
Yeah, scarves. I'm picturing way too much.
So she's living her best life driving this Barbie Jeep until this fox comes along. Sneaky. Ooh, let's talk about this fox.
Okay, let's talk about the fox because I did actually do a little research on the fox. So to see a fox attacking you is related to deception, or it could be a lack of inner confidence. So what I'm kind of asking Shannon is someone telling you the whole truth? Is someone trying to conceal something from you? Or are you trying to be deceptive about something?
Ooh. Thinking of a fox, You think like sly, cunning,
Yes.
not truthful. And I totally see that connection.
Mm-hmm. And it is like, it's connected to being sly, like you said, and dishonesty can indicate that you're trying to avoid something specifically. And then maybe it's, wanting to change something or leave something alone. So leave Shannon alone, you sly fox. Leave her alone. She's doing
Get your own Barbie Jeep, man.
Get your own Barbie Jeep. Going back to the Barbie Jeep, though, I think it's awesome because I'm like, well, one, I'm a Barbie girl, but let's just pretend I'm not. Okay.
In your Barbie world, Brooke.
In my Barbie world. Okay. I feel like, okay, so you've got this old broken down pickup truck, right? And she just lifts this beautiful pink Barbie Jeep out and goes. She beats the track. She beats everything. It's like, it's almost
She's overcoming a lot.
Yes. I feel like it's almost as this Jeep represents like a new era, like a new way of dealing stuff. For so long, you think pickup trucks do this and they're great and they do that. But it's like, maybe she's streamlining things. She's being more efficient and modern. Like,
yes.
I just say, like, ladies, jump into your Jeeps and leave those old ideologies and pickup trucks in the dust.
Mind blown, Brooke. Fantastic. I totally agree. I think that's amazing. An analysis of this dream.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I said yes. Like, yes, it is. No, I mean, like, that's just what I think. And I'm glad you agree. I'm like, I feel like she is
like a new phase, like a just new outlook on life. Like,
it's
just
new for
you
her.
do you.
And it's going to be like female strong. And she's, she's paving the way. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
We've already talked about the fox. Maybe the fox is something she's trying to avoid specifically, or maybe even someone holding her back. So I guess what the last
especially
image
the fact of the slamming the paw, like the door, like that, it is like very significant of like, this is the end of this. Like, I'm not putting up with your shit. This is it.
No.
Done. I'm moving on. I'm not looking back.
Fuck you. You're cool. Bye. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to talk about, and we've talked about it before, is like the shopping mall / community college. So I think,
What would you get your degree in there? I'm going to get can you get a degree, an associate degree in shopping?
My major
sign me up.
is in Spencer Gifts, and my minor is in Hot Topic.
My God. Give me Gadzooks. Do you remember that store? How many times? Gadzooks.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of Gadzooks. That store.
Wow.
It was like the Hot Topic before Hot Topic.
The Hot Topic before Hot Topic.
It was the predecessor.
Basically, I think it means a lot of choices. Same with community college, a lot of choices to choose from, and kind of a lot of chaos too. So
she noped out of there. Like, as soon as that fox came in, she's like, nope.
She fought it. She's a boss. She is a boss, I think. However, just to sum things up, I think her current situation, maybe a job or something, like, is leaving her frustrated, but she's not going to sit around and wait for anyone to help. She leaves, like you were saying, that fox trapped, and she just walks away. So did trapping it mean she's done with the problem, wiping her hands of it? The past is the past? Or is this a temporary solution to just closing the door, but the fox is still in there? Is she not ready to deal what the fox really is? Not yet. Because I feel like she's fought a lot of things, but this goddamn fox.
Still following her.
Something's still following her, but I think she's on a good start.
Wow. Fantastic job, Brooke.
You too, Mindy. Fantastic.
Oh, well. Okay. Phew. Well, those were two pretty amazing dreams today. Totally polar opposites of dreams, too, may I say.
Lots of information to dive into. We love that.
If you're enjoying this podcast, we want to make sure you tell your bestie about the show. That's the way we grow. That's the way we get to do new fun things for you guys. So tell a bestie, tell a fox, rent a Barbie Jeep, and tell the world about REMelations.
We love you.
We love you, besties.
Tell a fox.
Because what does the fox say? He says, listen to Revelations. Listen to Revelations.
Listen to Revelations. Boop, 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 boop. Tell a friend to boop, 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 share a dream. Boop, 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 boop. Patreon. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh my God, you're
Those
cracking
are the
me up,
only
girl.
words I know
Cracking
of
me
the
up.
song.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Oh, we can get some pod news since
Please?
we're having so much fun.
Please.
We had a very exciting milestone we hit this week.
You guys.
Friends, we just passed 1,000 downloads of this show.
1,000.
We are so honored, and thank you for listening to us every week, because honestly, that means the world to us. We started this, we just like to have fun, but to know that you guys are out there listening and enjoying it and coming back every week to hear us and our crazy talks and our laughing makes you amazing. So we couldn't get here without you guys.
They're like, you're laughing, and I immediately laugh, but
It's you were laughing, really.
It wasn't meant to be timed that way. I just wanted to be like, yes, exactly.
People tune in
what
for your
she's
laughing,
saying.
Brooke.
Oh, well, there's more where that came from, so keep tuning in.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible milestone, and we just want to see us, keep growing. When are we going to get to 2,000? We don't know, but we're having a hell of a lot of fun doing this.
We're hoping it's this week. I'm just
kidding. Do you mind?
Do you mind if you can help us?
Just keep it on repeat on your phone.
this week?
I don't think it works that way. I do want to give a shout out to a few listening cities. We always have our great friends in Chicago and Eastern Iowa. We also want to say thank you to those tuning in from Dallas, from Alexandria, Greenville, Spartanburg. Holla.
What? Okay.
Meridian. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. And also Milwaukee, Wichita, Hutchinson, Greenville, New Bern, and New York. Internationally, we had some listeners, our friends in the UK, as well as the Netherlands this week. So
the Netherlands,
hello.
That's a first, isn't it?
Yes. So exciting news in the podcast this week.
It is. It's very exciting.
I was thinking this week, do you remember the first dream you've ever had? Like as a child? Is there some like dream that you're like, you woke up and you had to tell like your mom or dad about?
It's really weird that I don't. I cannot for the life of me think of my first dream. I know as a kid, I know we brought it up in past episodes, I did sleepwalk. My brother slept walk. Even my mom slept walk.
Really?
But yeah, oh my God. One time, Mindy, my dad tells this story. She did a medley of dances one night.
I see where you get it from. I totally get it now. It all, in 30 years of being friends, and now it's all clicked. It's all clicked.
So she's sitting there in the bedroom doing her tap, her ballet. She's even doing the Russian dance,
like the evolution of dance.
Like where you go down and kick your leg out. But she was not trained in that, so she fell. And my dad helped her up. She just kept dancing.
Insane.
She kept dancing. So I don't remember, well, obviously I don't remember that. And I don't remember my first dream, but I know sleepwalking is prevalent in my family. I hesitate to ask, but at the same time, it's like, I want to know all of your dreams from the moment you were born. So I know you're going to have an interesting first dream.
I do. And the reason I was thinking of this is because I was talking to my mom this week, and my mom and dad love them. Listen to the podcast. Love you guys.
Yay.
But my mom will bring up to me in just random conversations the first dream I ever had as a child. And I must have been about 5 years old because I was in kindergarten. And I remember waking up in the morning, walking downstairs, and telling my mom this dream. So it goes something like this. I was at my school. I was in kindergarten, and we were doing a talent show. Okay. And so every student had to come up with a song, a dance, a skit. And so mine was going to be baton twirling. Do you remember those batons when we grew up that it had glitter in it, and if you went one way, the glitter would come to one end, and if you went the other way, glitter would come to the other. Okay. So I had one of those batons, and I was going to do a baton twirling dance. In my dream, towards the end of my routine, I would open the cap of the baton. A horse would come out of my baton.
Of the baton?
And start singing and dancing with me. But, so we're dancing.
This is the best possible show I could ever see in my life.
I may have been watching Mr. Ed that night. I'm not sure. But if you're not familiar with Mr. Ed, it's a show from, what would you say, like the 60s?
50s or 60s?
50s, 60s. Yeah. About a talking horse.
Nick at Night, if that still existed. Does it still exist?
It's called My TV, and now they have Friends on it, so it just makes me feel old. Yeah.
That was hurtful. Continue.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, the premise of Mr. Ed was that this horse that could talk. But he didn't talk around anyone except for his owner. And so in my dream, I planned this talent show with this horse. And what we were going to do is we had a song and a dance. See, it started when I was so young.
And then
doing a dance routine.
Oh, I love this.
The best part of it is at the very end of the routine, the last line of the song said the word true. Okay. And so we're singing, and the horse was supposed to join in for the last word of the song, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's a singing horse? Because it's not that the fact that the horse came out of the baton that was amazing. It was the fact that he could sing was even more amazing. And so after the horse is dancing, I go, true. And the horse is supposed to join in and sing that last word, but he doesn't. And I just standing there like, oh. And then I woke up. And so I told my mom, I'm 5 years old, explaining this dream to my mom about having a baton twirling, horse appearing, singing, dancing combinations, fantabulous performance. And the horse let me down. And I was 5. That was the first dream I ever remember.
That's devastating. That's
and my mom,
devastating.
And my mom to this day, she can just look at me and go, true. And I'm like, Mom.
Then you go into immediate depression and sadness.
I do.
Because you're like, the horse fucked up our routine because he didn't go. And I don't know why his voice in my head goes, true.
It was really low.
Really low. And I can't
really
do low, so I have to just make it gravelly. True.
Oh, God.
See, it doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't sound good. But yeah, that was the first dream I ever remember. And that from 5 years old till today, like, I have crazy dreams.
Very specific, as usual.
Very specific.
I do wonder, though. So, like, for me, for someone that can't remember their first dream, but even regardless of that, as a child, as a toddler, whenever it is that you remember your first dream, how do you go about explaining that? Like, you've never experienced a dream. I mean, you maybe have as a baby and stuff, but it's just like gobbledygook. But when you finally have the first dream where you like understand words and actions, like, how do you tell your parents that? Like, explain it to them, like, so this happened.
That's how it worked. I sat down for breakfast, which is probably like a bowl of cereal.
You did a great job with it, but I can only imagine that it has to be kind of scary for a lot of kids because they're like, I don't know what just happened and why did these images.
I think that's a really interesting topic you bring up because we must always dream, even as babies.
Yes,
but like you said, it's just relative to what they know, which is just happy times. But, you know, like at some point it switches over and you're like aware it's a dream.
Right.
That is really interesting to me. That's an interesting topic to bring up.
Yeah. We might have to dive into this a little deeper sometime.
We might have to because it's not like it just happens overnight. It just, I think, because if it did, it would be almost quite traumatizing to have a dream. But so we must, as babies, dream in some sense.
It must dream and build up. So by the point it becomes a full-fledged dream where you can explain it to someone, it must be like a smooth enough process that you feel comfortable. You hear stories about parents laughing like, oh, when my kid did this for the first time, ha ha ha, or said this. Yeah. But you don't really hear too much about like, oh, my kid told me their first dream last night.
Right.
So it might be like a seamless kind of transition.
My kid, walked for the first time.
You
my
never
daughter
say dream.
Lost a,
like,
you never say that.
Lose a tooth?
What was
everything you put in a baby book.
Yes, why is that not in a baby book?
When's the first dream?
First haircut. No, we're on a mission now. I'm going to contact some publishing companies and I'm going to put in there. Books. We need to make an extra line. Baby's first dream.
Baby's first dream.
And what it was. Horse singing and playing baton. I don't know. But it's going to be something in that.
A horse coming out of a baton.
A horse coming out of a baton, singing, and messing up the routine. But
I'm so mad at that horse. Do you know what his name was?
He didn't have a name, but I'm guessing it's just Ed.
Oh, well, Ed has disappointed me for the last time.
I don't know that I've ever dreamt of horses since then. Maybe that blocked that out. Now I cannot dream of horses because they're always letting me down.
One and done. Ed let me down. Never coming back for more.
Hey, if any of our listeners remember their first ever dream, write it into us because we'd be so fascinated to hear what the first dream you ever remember having and how old you were.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's like just a one-line detail or anything. Just please write it in. Email us at remelations@gmail.com. I think that'd be very cool to kind of see what everyone remembers and how old they were.
I would love to hear it. Like you said, I think it would be fascinating.
We're doing our
Absolutely
own research.
can.
This is now a scientific podcast. And let me just put on my lab coat.
Yes. I already have mine on because I never take it off.
Brooke, PhD and BS. That's what it says.
That's me. I studied really hard to get that.
Those exams
Dr.
were so
BS
tough.
is what they call me.
It would be really perfect if your last name was S, and then you could be Dr.
Brooke
BS.
S.
Brooke Swan.
I gotta find someone to
Marry
marry
someone
that
with a
has
last
the
name with
S. Next goal on my list: not get a job, but find someone to marry whose last name starts with S.
Works for me. You can find
I
love
could do
anywhere.
that. I'll give you updates next week.
Please do.
Hey, all you social media lovers, check us out at REMelations and you'll find some good stuff there. And more importantly, if you love us, if you like listening to us, please support us. And you can find different ways to support us at remelations.com/support. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything and anything you can do for us.
Today was a lot of fun. We got to read 2 listeners' dreams. Please submit your dreams so we can share some more next week. But until then, sweet dreams, bitches!
Thanks again for listening to Comedy by Indie Drop-In. If you would like your show featured, reach out to us at Indie Drop-In on all social media or go to indiedropin.com. See you next time.
As a child, as a toddler, whenever it is that you remember your first dream, how do you go about explaining that? Like, you've never experienced a dream. I mean, you maybe have as a baby and stuff, but it's just like gobbledygook. But when you finally have the first dream where you like understand words and actions, like, how do you tell your parents that? Like, explain it to them, like, so this happened.
That's how it worked. I sat down for breakfast, which is probably like
You
a bowl of
did-
cereal.
You did a great job with it, but I can only imagine that it has to be kind of scary for a lot of kids because they're like, I don't know what just happened and why did these images.
I think that's a really interesting topic you bring up because we must always dream, even as babies.
Yes,
But like you said, it's just relative to what they know, which is just happy times. But you know, like at some point it switches over and you're like aware it's a dream.
Right.
That is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
That's an interesting topic to bring up.
Yeah. We might have to dive into this a little deeper sometime.
We might have to because it's not like it just happens overnight. It just, I think, because if it did, it would be almost quite traumatizing to have a dream. But so we must, as babies, dream in some sense.
It must dream and build up. So by the point it becomes a full-fledged dream where you can explain it to someone, it must be like a smooth enough process that you feel comfortable. You hear stories about parents laughing like, oh, when my kid did this for the first time, ha ha ha, or said this.
Yeah.
But you don't really hear too much about like, oh, my kid told me their first dream last
Never.
night. So
Right.
it might be
true.
like a seamless kind of transition.
My
But to
kid,
me,
walked for the first time.
You
My
never
daughter
say dream.
lost a,
like,
you never say that.
lose a tooth?
What was
everything
damn.
you put in a baby book.
Yes, why is that not in a baby book?
When's the first dream?
First haircut. No, damn it, we're on a mission now. I'm going
We're
to
gonna
contact some
change
publishing companies and I'm going
all
to put in
those
there,
books.
we need to make an extra line. Baby's first dream.
Baby's first
And
dream.
what it was. Horse singing and playing baton. I don't know. But it's going to be
Or a
something
horse
in that.
coming out of a baton.
A horse coming out of a baton, singing, and messing up the routine. But
I'm so mad at that horse. Do you know what his name was?
he didn't have a name, but I'm guessing it's just Ed.
Oh, well, Ed has disappointed me for the last time.
I don't know that I've ever dreamt of horses since then. Maybe I've blocked that out. Now I cannot dream of horses because they're always letting me down.
One and done. Ed let me down. Never coming back for more.
Hey, if any of our listeners remember their first ever dream, write it into us because we'd be so fascinated to hear what the first dream you ever remember having and how old you were. Yeah. I don't care if it's like just a one-line detail or anything. Just please write in. Email us at REMelations@gmail.com. I think that'd be very cool to kind of see what everyone remembers and how old they were.
I would love to hear it. Like you said, I think it would be fascinating.
We're doing our own research. This is now a scientific podcast. And let me just put on my lab coat.
Yes. I already have mine on because I never take it off.
Brooke, PhD and BS. That's what it says.
That's me. I studied really hard to get that.
Those
Dr. BS is what they call me.
It would be really perfect if your last name was S, and then you could be Dr.
Brooke
BS.
S.
Brooke Swan.
I gotta find someone to
marry someone with the last name of
S. Next goal on my list: not get a job, but find someone to marry whose last name starts with S.
Works for me. You can find
I
love
could do
anywhere.
that. I'll give you updates next week.
Please do.
Hey, all you social media lovers, check us out at REMelations, and you'll find some good stuff there. And more importantly, if you love us, if you like listening to us, please support us. And you can find different ways to support us at REMelations.com/support. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything and anything you can do for us.
Today was a lot of fun. We got to read 2 listeners' dreams. Please submit your dreams so we can share some more next week. But until then, sweet dreams, bitches!
Thanks again for listening to Comedy by Indie Drop-In. If you would like your show featured, reach out to us at Indie Drop-In on all social media or go to indiedropin.com. See you next time.
The I didn't realize you liked me that way deal. Because it's one thing to receive McDonald's, but an entirely other thing to know that they woke up early to face the world and bring you McDonald's breakfast still hot in the bag.
Appreciate you.
There's a deal for every morning. Now grab 2 loaded sausage burritos for only $3. Prices and participation may vary. Single item at regular price. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andreas Michaelitis, Chief Psychologist at Noom. But what's Noom and why does Noom need a Chief Psychologist? Noom is a weight loss program that works, with results that last. Because we know that changing the way you eat starts with your mind. With Noom's proven psychology-backed tools, one-on-one coaching, and flexible plans that emphasize progress over perfection, you'll have the tools you need to change your relationship with food. So sign up at Noom.com now and lose the weight for good. That's Noom.com.